What's up everybody, it's Joe here with Joseph Blake Photography, and in today's video, yes, it's finally here, it's been announced. We have all the details on the DJI Neo, the new tiny FPV drone that is going to be just an absolute sleeper agent into the DJI drone ecosystem. What's up everybody, I'm Joe, this is my channel, Joseph Blake Photography, where we talk about tips and tricks and tools and everything that creators use to create, whether it's here on YouTube, anywhere else on social media, or if you're delivering to clients, or if you're just filming for you and your family and your friends, but you are creating something. You're creating content and you want to get into the nitty-gritty and the weeds of everything that's going on. That is what we talk about here on this channel. So if that's the type of thing that you're into, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. And if at the end of the video you think that I've done a good job, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button as well. Socials down below, we'll talk about those at the end, but let's get into talking about this FPV drone. All right, so let's get the stats out of the way. This is all the stuff that we already knew that was coming from the Neo. Number one, this is a palm launch device. This is a small, teeny tiny palm launch and land device. It is in an FPV style. It is 135 grams light. It comes with AI subject tracking and a quick shots feature that can be controlled with a button on the back of the drone. It will also respond to voice commands. It can be controlled from your phone, but with the bundled remote, you can do even more. So if you are a cycler, a mountain biker, a hiker, a surfer, someone who is doing stuff where you want to just be able to simply launch the drone off into the air and have it record your actions, this thing is going to be amazing for you, especially with the fact that it is coming with a 1/2-inch sensor. It will shoot 4K at 30 frames per second, and it has their rock steady horizontal stabilization feature from DJI. And if anybody's really good at stabilizing, it's DJI. It can also handle level 4 wind, and it's designed for vlogging if that's something that you want to do, because it will also connect to the DJI microphone system. You can charge it using a USB-C cable, and while it is compatible with and comes with the RC-N3 controller, it will also work with the FPV controller, the FPV Goggles 3, the motion controller, and more, because this thing is, I think, a sleeper agent, entry-level, get you into their system type of product, where you can literally just have the drone, control it with your phone, or nothing at all. Just control it with the button on the back, control it with the quick shots feature, with your voice, and then slowly but surely get more comfortable with it and move up to some of those more advanced capabilities with those additional controller options. I think that's really what this thing is designed for, because there are going to be people out there, especially come holiday season, that are going to want this thing but aren't comfortable maybe using the remote control. They're not comfortable using goggles or the motion controller, but they're happy to use quick shots. They're happy to use their voice. And so the fact that they've embedded multiple control features, multiple control options, so that you can, as you get more comfortable, use more complicated methods and get better shots, more complicated shots, all the way up to effectively full capability of what we have in the Avata. And because it's so small and is relatively quiet, their marketing videos are literally showing influencers jogging while talking into their phone. You could also be talking into the DJI microphones, and that's all being recorded on the drone. Where I think the brick wall is going to be for users of this product, and this isn't a bad thing at all, it's smart, is that they're going to get there and say, but I want a little bit more flexibility. And with the built-in storage, 22 gigabytes, which is tons of video and tons of still photos and audio, especially considering the fact that it only has an 18-minute battery. I'm not going to fill that storage up in 18 minutes. But since you are limited to just what's on board and what you can either transfer off to your phone wirelessly or via USB-C, I think that once you start looking at the photos and say, okay, I want more than 12 megapixels, or I want RAW, or you start looking at the footage and you say, I want slow-mo, or I want something a little higher res than 4K, or I want to be able to shoot vertical, or I want to be able to do color correction and shoot with a log profile, or I want ProRes, right? As you, as a content creator, become more advanced in your content creation, this as a tool will start to feel like, oh, okay, well, I can't do this and I can't do that or can't do this. And don't get me wrong, you're going to be able to do a ton with this. But again, from the standpoint of this is a phenomenal marketing tool for your other products, because once you realize that, oh, I've already got Goggles 3, and I've got the motion controller, and I got the better controller, and I'm doing all these other things. Now it's time to go get the Mavic 3. Now it's time to get the Mini 4 Pro. That is where I think this product is going to shine. This isn't a thing that you buy and then you later on realize, oh, this isn't enough for me, and you have to buy a completely new kit. You're going to buy this and some accessories with it along the time that you're using it, and then you take those accessories over to the next product, and then eventually have to buy a whole new kit. But I think that's super smart on the part of DJI. And they've made the things that you're going to do initially, right? The control, the quick transfer with Wi-Fi to your phone. They've made all that super easy. And they've even built in beauty filters for face and body. I do not love this. This is bad and perpetuates incorrect body image issues, but it's something that people are probably going to want, and it is baked into the drone. And honestly, it's cheap. The drone by itself is $200, and the Fly More combo being $329. This is, again, I think I've said it in previous videos about this drone, this is Spark level type of stuff. Like, I think this is what we have been waiting for some time from DJI, and this is very tempting. For someone like myself who, when I go out on adventure trips to do photography, I'm trying to pack as light as possible. I'm busting my Peak Design bags because they're overloaded. The zippers are coming apart because I've got so much stuff. Reducing my weight, both here and also in my backpack, has been something that I've been thinking about quite a bit recently. This just goes to show you that it is possible. The real question is going to be, how much can you push the footage out of that 1/2-inch sensor? Obviously, it's not going to be shooting in any sort of log profile or any sort of ProRes RAW. You're going to be getting baked H.265 straight out of camera. Maybe we're going to go back to the days of the old tricks from the Mavic where you had to set saturation low and sharpness low and contrast low and all that, and then do all that in post and hope that it looked a little bit better. But for folks just getting into drone photography, videography, and now I guess drone vlogging, having a stabilized tripod basically running around with you all the time with a microphone system that is noise managed to the point where maybe you can't even hear the propellers at all, that's going to be fantastic. So definitely going to have to try this thing out, give it a shot. Very curious to see if those of you out there who are content creators who are doing things where you really do want to get into the cinematography of it, you need apertures that you can modify, you need that Hasselblad color and 1-inch plus sensor size. Let me know down in the comments if this thing even pegs the needle at all for you, especially if you are an adventure type person, the DC Rainmaker types. Very curious to hear from you. I wanted to talk about, honestly, some of the things that we didn't expect and didn't see when we got specs leaked, that this was just going to be an FPV drone that was teeny tiny, which it is. But now we get all this other cool stuff, and I'm very excited to see some of the other things that people are able to do with it. Very excited to see it out in the wild, and I love how tiny it is. This thing is great. I'm stoked. I want to see this thing in the wild. I want to test this thing out and see how it goes. So probably going to be a review on the channel. I'll let you know when it's coming. But thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. If this is the kind of video that you're into, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below. If you thought that this was worth the click, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. Another free and easy way that you can support the channel is down below. There are all my social links. I think I am finally in the place where I can start rebuilding my social media presence, especially on Facebook and Instagram, where I have been pretty absent for a while. So let me know if you're interested in following me there. And last but not least, I have opened up memberships on the channel. And I've got a ton of videos in the pipeline for that, so I really appreciate the folks who have been following me over there. You can also find me over at my blog, where I talk a lot about photography. Right now, there's a post up there about composition, so check that out. And yeah, thank you so much.